This video was brought to you by Brilliant, whose courses like scientific thinking help you apply critical thinking to real-world problems. Start learning for free at brilliant.org/Lexi Grok or GPT. There are a lot of moving parts and it's hard to keep track. So let's deconstruct some common claims and see how we can better tell Grok from GPT. First, the latest claims. XAI pushes rapid Grok updates. Grok 4 is now free, but rate limited. While marketing materials say Grok will be crushingly good enough to make you cry, only later do they reveal pros, and enterprise customers won't get those cry-inducing capabilities until September. Be aware of free tier caps and promo framing. 1 million queries a day sounds like a lot, until you realize it's about 13,000 prompts if you get an average of 75 tokens each way. Second, the headlines. GPT-5 reduces factual errors 45% versus GPT-40 and 80% versus 0.3 with thinking. That's a very big claim. Even if true, treat it as vendor-reported, not gospel. We'll want to see independent audits. Third, model cards matter. OpenAI's system card and safety card show procedures and evals you can actually audit. XAI has lighter public safety docs. These omissions aren't fatal, but transparency differences affect trust when models go off script. How often do you need to test a system when it hasn't been evaluated for edge cases you care about? Fourth, the arena. Head-to-head leaderboards like Chatbot or LM Arena give community-voted ELO. See where Grok and GPT models actually sit, not just in marketing. On LM Arena, Grok is around number 20 out of 89 total entries, doing better than GPT 3.5 Turbo, but worse than GPT 4 and many others. This is a useful reality check. Fifth, hype versus scoreboard. The media has picked up on the gap between Grok is smartest in the world claims and its mixed leaderboard standings. Use third-party boards to cross-check statements like Grok beats GPT on coding. In the Clutch GPT Coding Challenge, GPT-4 outperformed Grok 3. Sixth, hallucinations. GPT-5 advertises a 40% cut in hallucinations. That's measurable. Grok's docs highlight a 50% cut in reasoning time, not hallucinations. They also state Grok hallucinates less, but without numbers. When testing, you can force citations and look for repeats. Then test on obscure facts. The best models will still occasionally miss things they can't find in their training data, but this is where you'll see GPT shine because it does a better job of making up plausible-sounding but untrue statements. Seventh, off-script. The recent Grok suspension kerfuffle shows how these models can infer the wrong causal story from a set of facts. Don't trust confident narratives from AI. Always fact-check. Eighth, YouTube head-to-heads. Multiple creators run Grok 4 versus GPT-5 challenges, including coding, sim, reasoning. Use them for visual verification, but remember YouTube tests vary in rigor. I'll link to my favorites in the pinned comment. Ninth, rate limits. Grok's free 5 queries every 12 hours may force shorter prompts and fewer retrieves. This changes the perceived quality of both models in casual tests. Personally, I think 5 queries is too few for serious evaluation, but it's great for sampling developer experience. 10th, vendor setups. Some YouTube Grok 4 demos actually run Grok 3 or mixed settings. Always check the video description or on-screen model tag. This is sloppy but typical of the Wild West of AI right now. 11th, safety trade-offs. OpenAI publishes a suite of evals showing disallowed content, jailbreaks, hallucinations, etc. You get a sense of what OpenAI doesn't let their models do. There's less detail from XAI publicly, so you may need to test all of these yourself. 12th, reasoning style. OpenAI calls out deliberate A01-style thinking that's slower but higher quality. 13th, benchmark, reality. A UNU paper cited by Perplexity notes diminishing returns from brute force scaling. Their analysis of Grok 3 calls out these results, not just for Grok, but also GPT-4. So while you might see Grok topping SOTA lists, treat those scores as signals, not outcome guarantees. 14th, tool use and web. Both models advertise using tools. The key to deception detection here is recency. Try news summaries, sports fixtures, etc., where one model may summarize a recent event with accurate sources while the other hallucinates. 15th, bias under pressure. Run adversarial prompts, subtle policy violations like asking how to make explosives or how to craft arguments to get around anti-disinformation rules. OpenAI publishes jailbreak robustness tests. You can replicate similar probes for Grok to see how far guardrails have drifted. 16th, latency illusion. Faster outputs can feel smart. Measure time to first token versus final accuracy. Several YouTube tests comment that Grok feels snappier, but check correctness too. 17th, pricing reality. xAI's docs list model tiers and capabilities. Compare cost per 1K tokens and context limits before concluding anything about value. 18th, context window. Test both on long transcripts like 60 to 100K tokens. Track which one drops early facts or invents details in the back half. Document your misses for later. 19th, math and code. Use standard coding katas or unit tests. YouTube matchups run these. Verify by rerunning the exact prompts and checking that the code runs. 20th, multimodal honesty. If image or video features are available, like Grok Imagine, test for overclaiming. Does it generate what it says? Or subtly substitute something else? 21st, source fabrication. Ask each to cite URLs for niche claims. Then click through. Track fake links. This is where deception shows fast. 22nd, refusal consistency. Probe borderline topics with safe phrasing. Compare which model over-refuses helpful but blocked versus under-refuses confidently wrong. The difference matters. 23rd, self-correction. Ask each to critique its own answer and re-answer. GPT-5's thinking modes claim 20% fewer errors. Verify deltas in error rates. 24th, arena-style prompts. Pull real prompts from LM Arena and replay them. Do Grok and GPT reproduce similarly strong answers? Public standings imply trends, but not determinism. 25th, news recency. Feed breaking stories and require time-stamped, sourced summaries. Models that hedge with generic language are more likely masking uncertainty. 26th, policy clarity. OpenAI's model spec and eval hub lets you anticipate refusals. Less clarity with Grok means more trial and error to map boundaries. 27th, marketing vs method. Articles point out industry hype and plateau signals. Don't confuse promotional leaps, smartest ever with measured increments. 28th, vendor instability tells. Sudden account suspensions or platform glitches expose brittle policy enforcement and post hoc narratives. 29th, independent dashboards. Use artificial analysis and other aggregators to triangulate benchmarks, price, and speed over time. Less room for cherry picking. And finally, 30th, your own red team log. Keep a spreadsheet. Prompt, model, timestamp, claim, sources, verdict. Retest monthly as versions change. Thanks to Brilliant for supporting this video, and thanks to you for watching.